think we're live. All right.
What is going on? Good evening, everybody out there in SPO world. It is the SPO cast, episode number 6, I believe.
Seven.
Wow.
We've been kind of a little off with the number. Well, it's episode 7 here. So, Rob Sanderson here with Johnny Cashmere and Big 80's Donnie B. Your Monday night discussion here, 7:30 Eastern. Guys, how's it going?
Going well, my friend. Going very well.
Johnny didn't get the what is this, like a blush pink color tonight that we're both wearing here?
Yeah. Well, mine's my official Miami Vice t-shirt. Look at that.
There you go.
Miami Vice, baby. Best TV show of all time. I'll take no other substitute.
Yep.
I probably shouldn't admit something right now, then.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead, Sanderson.
What's that streaming on? Because I'm going to have to take a watch for the first time.
Wait a minute. Well, hold on a minute. Let's back up for a second because this shit might come to a halt.
We got derailed in minute 1.
You're telling me that you've never watched an episode or a second of Miami Vice and you don't know who Sonny Crockett or Rico Tubbs are.
Guilty.
Holy Christ.
Yeah.
We had such hopes for you, Rob.
When the aliens come for us, they're going to go through us like Grant took Richmond. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to get bulldozed in less than 24 hours. Oh, Rob.
I have no idea what that means, but it doesn't sound good. So
no, it doesn't.
It's an iconic look. Everyone can close their eyes and picture Don Johnson with the white suit and the big lapels in Miami with the pastel colors.
Yes. I'll send you a link.
And
Rob.
like I said a couple weeks ago, like I had a white suit and a lot of people made those comments. And I remember at that time I was like, oh, I got to actually watch this. And then I forgot. So I will write that down. I mean, that's the positive side of things is I'll get to experience it for the very first time, as opposed to me like going back and watching 24 for a 10th time or something. So
I'm going to quiz you and I'm going to ask you how Zito and Zytek met his untimely demise on a certain episode. You better have the answer.
Oh boy, pressure is on.
Yes,
that's right, man.
Let's get rolling.
Right. So it is Monday, wrapping up a weekend here. I know it was a busy one, and saw some clips popping up on social media from the old ECW arena. Mr. Cashmere, how did that go on Saturday? Well, it was all day Saturday you were there?
Yeah, we were there all day Saturday for the Icons convention at first, and then we had the match against the Vaudevillains in the evening. So let me see if I can get this thing. There's some, I actually got to be on the microphone in the arena for the first time in years and years. And it was like a homecoming. It was quite wonderful. And there's all 3 of us, me in the back seats, did our arena return. And it felt like home. You know, the crowd was great and we got some dollars and it was a lot of fun. So great time.
What's it like for you stepping in that building now with how much time you spent in there in the past, like before all the renovations and stuff?
It was neat. You know, the building owner, Roger, welcomed me home and stuff. That was nice.
So Roger is still there. Wow. I haven't seen him in.
Yep. I was more excited to wrestle the Vaudevillains and to meet them and talk to them and pick their brains and hear some of the stories they were telling and stuff and just learning from their demeanor and the way they discuss things before the match. It was a learning experience. And man, I need to get those guys into SPO because as far as tag team goes, they're so innovative and novel. So I loved it.
I've never met Simon, but I have some positive experiences with Matt Raywalt, and he was in ESW about 2 years ago, maybe. But even quick story, way back in the day, I was down in Orlando, and the late great Brody Lee took us out to some barbecue, 4 Rivers Smokehouse in Winter Park, Florida. Shout out to them. And Matt Raywalt, Aiden English, accompanied us. We're in line, kind of standing through, waiting for our barbecue and looking at the drinks. And he picks up this this bottle. He's like, "Ooh, this looks good. Local root beer. Have you had this local root beer?" And I'm like, "Local root beer? Like local to what? Whatever." It was local. So anytime I saw him after that, I had to tease him about that. But yeah. Well, I don't know if the low calorie root beer was good, but I don't think it was local to Orlando.
Brother, Simon Gotcha's thigh is as big as my torso. The shape these
never
guys
met
are.
them. Yeah, I never met the three of them. But Aiden, Matt, he's married to Eddie's daughter, right? Eddie Guerrero's daughter. I'm pretty sure that's his wife. One of Eddie Guerrero's daughters. Shaw, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's I remember that. I
He's
never met
actually
John Huber. Yeah, I never met him. Did you know Luke Harper, Johnny?
Yeah, we used him on some of PW events back in the day, and I met him up in NWA Upstate when I used to wrestle for Rosario.
Everybody that knows me, that knows him, is like, dude, you would have loved him.
You would have.
And I'm like, yeah, I wish I would have met him, man. Just what a goddamn shame that was. Holy Christ.
Yeah. No, I mean, he was one of my best friends for a couple decades.
Really?
So it's
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We even called some hockey together the last time I saw him and stuff. So but yeah, it's there's I mean, I could do a podcast on stories with some of that stuff.
We should.
But
Let's do that one day. Maybe a nice little retrospective at the beginning of next year of people we've lost or something, like Bray. And I never met him. I always heard good things about him, but fuck, man, you got to, all you got is the memories at the end, bro. That's it. That's all we got.
Yeah, for sure.
Good on you, man. Yeah, we'll do that once. You can head that up, man. We'll do that one show. I'd like to hear those stories.
I know. I mean, unfortunately, at this point, there's so many people that kind of fall into that category over the years that I'm sure we've all got stories of and stuff that
good. They should be chronicalized. Yeah.
Yeah. So not to jump too far ahead, but it's December 18th somehow, which means Christmas is a week from today. Yikes. That also means that SPO is now just under 13 days away.
Yep.
The big debut, Burlington City.
Yep.
Are you ready for it?
I'm getting excited. I was just telling Donnie that the night before the show, I'm going to feel like I didn't do enough, no matter how much I do.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of just agreeing to disagree with myself, but yeah, I'm excited. Tickets are going. I'm super excited that tickets are selling. We just announced the name of the show is Silver and Gold for the holidays, the old Burl Live song from Rudolph. And we announced a new match. The tag title match actually is now announced, and it's going to be the Golden Era versus the Backseat Boys. And that's literally silver versus gold. So
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought I had it here. I could have sworn I had the picture ready to show.
I see it up in the right-hand corner.
Oh, I uploaded it to the wrong thing. There it is. It's up in the wrong corner. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm excited for that. And then we also
don't want to do spoilers, but do we know with tag team titles if belts may be gold or silver, or is that
we'll have to see what happens? We may use the Trent tag belts for now, just for one show or two until we really get going. We'll see.
Nice.
But also another announcement is Mr. Tattoo in Burlington is going to tattoo Christina Marie this Friday. So that's the 22nd. We're going to live stream it. We're going to talk to her about her match with Rebecca Scott, and we're going to watch her get tattooed, and she will debut the tattoo on the 31st in the women's match. So that's pretty cool.
I'll tell you what, that would have been that would have been a good step for a match. The loser had to get the winner's name tattooed on their body somewhere. No. I've never seen that before. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be.
Tough to get people to agree to do like a hair versus hair match. That one sounds really tough. But
yeah, I mean anything.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, speaking of tough, I mean, gotten to know Christina Marie fairly well through her ESW appearances in the last couple of years, and she's as tough as anybody in the business. But is she going to no sell the tattooing, or
we'll see?
Like a lot of the rest of us are.
I think she's thinking about back, like upper back. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never gotten one there. I don't know if that hurts or not, but we'll see. She's going to send me a picture of what she's getting soon. So
nice.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so Saturday you had all that stuff at the 2300 arena, and then there was more on Sunday as well. Yeah,
Sunday Sunday hell froze over if you checked, and we showed back up at CZW.
Wow.
The back seats are back in Combat Zone Wrestling. Mind blown.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't say, if I didn't give a testament to how hard that locker room worked on Sunday. They didn't do rest holds. It's a nuanced audience and it's a nuanced product. It's just fast moving, hard hitting. Some of the energy these guys exert in their matches, it's pretty crazy. And I feel like there's like cells of me still in the product from my youth.
Your DNA?
My DNA, exactly. And like, I feel like I've reconnected with it in a way. And like, I just want to see these guys do good. I don't care what I have to do. I just want to see them do good. And they're working their asses off. And it's so refreshing to see. It really is. So that was a lot of fun. I got to see my old student Gabby, who helps run the locker room. So some of the best talent is there. Deshaun Pratt is breaking out. Griffin McCoy is breaking out. Miles Hawkins, the rep, Donnie. You should have seen their match yesterday, bro.
I love the new back seats, right?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, in my opinion, you could go one or two on this. I think the rep are the best overall team that's TV ready on the independents in the United States. I'll say the new back seats might have the most potential as a young team if somebody was starting something. But as far as if wrestling was a claw machine, it could just come down and pluck talent and just insert it into something automatically. If I was running a promotion tomorrow, one of my first draft picks, if not my first draft pick from the world of the indies, would be the rep. Those guys are awesome. They look legit. They can work. I love the rep, dude. I'm telling you, as you run these events, you got to get them. I love them. I'm a huge fan of them. I try to get them in Impact Wrestling. Maybe it's still going to happen. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but they're awesome.
And their minds, Donnie. I had a conversation with them, and it was a Jedi lightsaber spar, and it was beautiful.
Bro. And their promos are believable. They're just real. That's the problem with indies, man, especially indies, but wrestling in general. Nobody sounds believable. A lot of people don't. They do. When you listen to it, you say, holy shit, like those guys are legit. I love the rep. And Miles Hawkins, I've been tooting the Miles Hawkins since I was turned on to him by Danny McDevitt. When we did the show last December, I asked Dan McDevitt, Corporal Punishment from Maryland Championship Wrestling, who I wanted representatives from all over the country for that six-way we did, the Sinister Six-Way. I said, who's the best gunslinger you got, Dan? Who is it? And automatically he said Miles Hawkins. He's my guy. He's from here. He's our rep. He's the one. He's our representative. He's our gemstone for the Infinity Gauntlet. And I said, bring him up. And I was blown away, man. The 99% Miles Hawkins, kid, sky's the limit. You will be hearing that name in 2024, and 2025, 2026. He's a young player. He's ready to break out. I'm telling you right now, man, he's going to be something big, in my opinion.
Big. For the indies, he's real big. Like physically, he's not a small dude. None of them are.
And the way he carried himself amongst it, when he got there, he looked around the locker room and he knew he was in with some sharks in our locker room last December. And I said, this is where you belong, bro, with your peers. You want to swim with the big dogs? This is it, man. Look around this locker room. You're Cardona and Myers and Buck and Aaron Stevens, all these guys. And you're right here, dude. This is where you belong. And he carried himself like a pro. And I could sing the highest of praises for that young man. And if Corporal Punishment recommends somebody, you know he's going to be a home run, dude.
Yeah, you're right. He is from Baltimore, he told me. And everything he does is believable. A lot of those guys, everything they're doing is believable.
There you go. That's the goddamn key. I've been saying it for like the last 2 years. Believability. Nobody believes somebody who looks like shit out there and can't break an egg. It's all believability, dude. I know Donnie B's 51. What does he know? He never did shit in the business. You're right. But I know believability. And those guys have it. The rep, Miles Hawkins.
Yeah, so you see what I mean? So they're doing good. And you know what? Me and DJ Hyde, there's no heat there. We were competitors at the arena back in the day, but who gives a shit? I don't have heat with anybody.
Wrestling heat is the stupidest thing in the entire history of the human race. It's like two cavemen having heat over who created fire first in the cave. You know what I mean? It's just so asinine. Just be happy you're warm.
Yeah.
There's the dollars out there in the independent wrestling scene are so fickle as it is. You're going to argue over a few dimes and don't trip over dollars while you're chasing quarters. That's what I tell everybody, man.
Well, get out there. One of the things that's gotten, like, all the technology advances in the last couple of decades, most of those are positive, but the increase in social media, like, that's the one thing that has not gone away in the past couple of decades. It's only increased with the Facebook keyboard warriors and all that kind of stuff, the drama that just doesn't need to be there. Yeah.
So stupid, dude. I don't understand that for a second. Because Rob, none of it sells a ticket. Not
Right.
1 ounce of drama and bullshit and arguments. And I love when I see these indie shows that draw 30 people and the guy spent 2 months arguing with each other, working an angle on the internet, on each other's Facebook page and this and that. I'm like, what is this shit? And none of it draws any money, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What do I know?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, some of the stuff you're talking about there with like if you were drafting and stuff, I almost feel like we might have to put biases aside, but that could be a fun night of doing a draft of independent stars that are TV ready. That
the first or second show in 2024, let's do us, Johnny, you, the three of us or whoever. Let's come up with our rosters and rules for the draft, and we'll draft our rosters if we were starting a company in 2024. There'll be some parameters, like you said. You can't currently be under contract, or maybe you can't pick anybody from anywhere, whatever. That's pretty fun. Let's do that one night.
nice.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. You know what else I was thinking is fun? If anyone has old wrestling posters.
Oh, I actually have a few.
I love looking at jabroni wrestling posters from back in the day. The jabronier the better, bro. Like here's one. Want to look at one here? This was from Bill Apter ran Meet a Pro Wrestler after Temple Sinai Men's Religious Club and had me and Nick Burke come. Look at this from 2007. From 12 to noon, there was a hot dog lunch.
I love how specific that is too.
Right.
Did you say from 12 to noon? 12 is noon.
Oh, 12 noon. And then at 12:30, the wrestling program starts. The Know Your Holds demonstration, the Ask the Pro Wrestler, and the Pro Wrestler Imitation Contest. You know Nick Burke was all over that one.
Because they can't see it, but the two superstars on the poster, which were used to draw in the fans, were Johnny Cashmere, and it said, what did that say? Pro Wrestling Unplugged and Independent Star.
Yeah.
And I almost gouged my eyes out of my head, but I think it said, yeah, there it is, Nick Burke, WWF TV and Independent Star. Huh. I must have been asleep during those appearances, but he did a couple things on Heat or whatever. I think he wrestled Nova, actually. I'm almost positive he did.
Well,
that makes him a star.
Now, I was trying to think when him and Apter drove together in a car and did karaoke, and I'm thinking, what would we have all been booked on together? And this is it. This is when we drove and did karaoke on the way there, the whole way. We sang.
How long was that? How long was that drive?
Hour, something like that. Not too long. Hour 10.
Okay, so when you go to heaven, can you ask for that hour or so back of your life? Because you're never going to get it otherwise. Because that sounds like it could be absolute. You, Nick Burke, and Bill Apter in a car for an hour.
Oh God! It was.
I would have thrown myself out the front window and underneath my own tires if I was in that car.
James Corden stole the karaoke gimmick off us, brother.
Yep, he sure did.
Delusions of grandeur. That's my 15 minutes of fame right there. I came up with the carpool karaoke.
Oh, introduce me after the lunacy. I think we got something to talk about.
15
minutes of fame.
Starring Donnie B, otherwise known as Don.
Well, I think this week's topic is something that was really irritating me for the last couple of weeks, and it's the subject of these
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh no, that's easy pickings.
Go
but
Bills.
I've been seeing this oh yeah, bro, they look great. This proliferation online of these seminars and schools and events and all this shit being run by people who have no idea what they're doing. They never did shit, nothing in the business. They're nobodies. They're just goofs doing a cash grab. Let me give you an example. I saw something a week or two ago, and it said somebody was having a goddamn seminar on promoting. And it was from somebody who I've never heard of. It doesn't mean that he's not a promoter. But I just was saying to myself, unless you're Lou D'Angeli or Gay Sapolsky or Danny McDevitt or some of these guys that really, truly know what they're doing promoting, you got some balls putting out on the internet that you're going to run a goddamn promoter seminar. Or these clowns that say, before the show this Saturday from 2 to 4 is the seminar with Mr. X or whoever. And you go, who? And you look at their little resume or their little biography, and it says wrestled 6 times last year in the Midwest, or made it out all as far as the Mason-Dixon line. And you go, Jesus Christ, like, it's only $25 a person. Just these pathetic cash grabs. My advice to everybody out there, do your research. Don't fall for none of this nonsense. I'm not talking about real ones. If there's a seminar being run by like Pat Buck or M-Dog out in the Midwest, stuff like that, if it's real and these guys have actually accomplished something, then by all means, go do it. But for all you pieces of shit out there that are taking money like vampires from the boys and the girls and living on their teat, that you got a lot of nerve, man, doing that shit. You're just disgraces to the business. You have no right being in it, and get out. That's what I say.
You make a mess of my house, get out, to quote Anthony
Yes,
Durante.
you're a disgrace. Charging the boys like a goddamn parasite.
And the poor misguided boys pay it because they just want to get ahead, and
because they're using the one tool that promoters know they have and that will never go away, and that's hope. Every promoter, the way they get guys to do stuff for them for either cheap or free is the promise of a better tomorrow, whether that's more money, another booking, advancement on the card, work in a different company. That's the secret weapon that every promoter has. The power over you to let you believe that they're going to enrich your career. And once you realize that 99% of them are just full of shit and they just want you to work for free, like, hey, brother, I'll get you on the next one. Still a lot of that shit going on. Then when the boys take the power back and they say, no, that ain't happening, dude. We're not working for you, you goof, for free. Like, we're not doing that. Then the boys will be better off. When I say boys, I mean the girls too. But I mean, when the workers do that, they'll have the power back. But until then, the promoter will always hold the reins when it comes to any kind of dissertation, any kind of like, talking back and forth about money, any kind of negotiation, anything. The promoter will always have the power.
No. Donnie, it's funny you say that because schools are popping up everywhere all of a sudden. Do you notice that? Everyone's got a wrestling school.
It's so stupid.
For every good one, there's a bad one.
I think Danny still does his thing at the Monster Factory. I'm not too keen on, like, I don't know a lot about its operation. It's been around a while. It looks like it's pretty cool. This is Don Bucci talking, Donnie B, big 80s. The only school that I could recommend to a young man or woman trying to get in the professional wrestling business is WrestlePro. That's it. I'm not saying there's not more. I'm just saying from my point of view, the one that's the most professionally run by men and women who know what they're doing, that are creating stars that are close to at least being TV ready or semi-TV ready, is WrestlePro. Based out of Rawway, Pat Buck, Kevin Matthews, Brian Myers with Creative Pro. That deal they got going with all those talents up there, they know what they're doing. So if you're a young man or woman, you want to get in the business in the tri-state area, look up WrestlePro. That's my advice. You don't have to take it. I'm just saying from what I've seen and the people that I've dealt with, that's where I would turn my attention, WrestlePro.
Yep, especially in North Jersey. Down here in South Jersey, I'm going to try to get something going soon that I'm hoping to announce. But
and that's cool.
But think of like, you go to Philly, you have Drew Gulak and Wheeler Yuta with their own school over there now, and Joker. That they got really good trainers, and Lucky 13's over there training all the time, and Rob Dimension's kid, Kurt Robinson, is there.
And like, that's a great example, Johnny. Like, I have no idea who most of those people that you just mentioned are, and that's not a knock on them. But if, let's say, you could get these 8 to 10 small groups together or small schools and make something bigger, if everybody could come together somehow, you'd have something. But to have all these splinter cells all over the place, like, are any of them going to really excel? Other than, I mean, your thing seems to be going pretty good, but everybody else, man, I don't get it. Just throw up a ring. We'll just fuck around and have fun, and we'll just train each other. That sounds great.
And that's the thing, that the heart and soul, Donnie. With PW, it took me forever. I've racked my brain how to fibrillate energy into its heart and make it live. And somehow along the way, it did come to life, but I'm not sure what the hell we did to make it come to life. And to try to recreate that is not easy. And, when you're in a locker room and there is a life to it, a heart and soul, you feel it immediately. And when it's not, you notice it's not. And you don't get that often, but CZW had that. They had a heart and soul that was pumping when I was wrestling for them. Just like when I go up to Canada, Greektown, there's a heart and soul in Greektown, man. You feel it pumping as you're out there. You ever do
when you're
Rob?
What's up?
You ever been to a Greektown show?
No, but it's on my list to definitely get to. And obviously, Channing's been working ESW a little bit more and stuff. So I plan on making it up there soon. Probably not next week, but no. And I mean, I'll give a shout out too to like, I think a lot of that you're talking about, like the locker room can get together a lot of times when the promoter cares about the wrestlers and it's obvious. And so shout out to Brett Mednick from ESW who did the annual ESW Christmas party over the weekend, gets everybody together, puts out a table of food and stuff, like an open bar kind of thing. That's the kind of like family like feeling that there are companies, there are feds out there that have that, and there's other ones where people just show up and do my match and leave. You gotta have that. It's like people are gonna get paid regardless or whatever or something, but if they have that energy in them that they want to make this the best show possible, then that's how you get it. I mean, it's a give and take. And
it's always a good sign when the wrestlers are at the curtain, excited when the match is over in the ring. Like, yeah, my boy's doing good out there, man. And it's not competition, it's encouragement, And when you have that kind of an atmosphere, there's a lot of growth, and I'm not back in 100% ring shape yet, but I'm getting there. But wrestling guys like the Vaudevillains and going back into the CZW and Greektown, it's getting me off my ass, man. I'm starting to do more cardio just to keep up. So,
how long is that trip to Greektown on a morning after Christmas?
Oh, it'll probably be overnight.
Yeah,
Christmas night at about 6 hours. Roughly.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
whatever. But the boys know, bro. Like Johnny, you remember, like there's certain shows we would go to and be like, we got to do this tonight. All right, let's just do it. And then there's like when we would go out for Bad Crew, like out there, we would legitimately be excited because we knew we were going to be taken care of and it'd be a good time. And as a talent, when I was just a talent, like a manager, I could definitely there were some shows I did just to get the payday. I was like, well, fuck it. It's ring time. We'll do a gimmick. We'll get some shit on tape. But there was other shows where we couldn't wait to get there. We're like, oh man, this is going to be great. But that's the difference when you have a whole locker room of people like, oh shit, man, it's Wednesday. Shit, man, this Saturday night is the PCW show or Pro Wrestling Unplugged. It's going to be awesome, dude. Rather than, it's 5 o'clock on Saturday. I better go down to the show and do my match. I mean, there's certain guys, I'm telling you, that I won't name them, but they look like they used to get bothered during their morning breakfast to get away from the table and go do their match and just phone it in. Like, and there was others like for Dennis and stuff. We couldn't wait to get there. It was an adventure each weekend. And that's what I miss about the business, just that kind of thing.
Yeah, but the business was lucky to have them is how they looked at it, right?
Yeah, the business was lucky to have them rather than they were lucky to be there. But when you can get that group that's all working together for the common goal to propel the company forward rather than just themselves, you can get yourself over and in the same time get everybody else over. And when the guys when everybody realizes that, it's so much better, dude.
Agreed. Real quick, Rob, I'm announcing a host for the show. Tantalizing Tony. He appeared at Icons recently. You might recognize him. He's got a podcast. Him and actually his daughter right there on the left. She's a voiceover specialist who does wonderful. So they're going to actually host the event, kind of like ring announcer, invite people. It's a family-friendly thing. So
you got to have the red carpet. Are you going to have the red carpet?
Probably not this time, but possibly come WrestleMania weekend, maybe. That's a great idea.
We did it last October when we had the Mark Henry show. It was the pre-show for an hour, and it was the red carpet arrival. And we had a red carpet set up with Shane Fair was the host, and we did a promo. We had a backdrop with an actual red carpet and the scomp things with the red ropes and all. It was awesome, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
We did that with PW a couple times too.
Maybe I stole it from you.
I remember at least one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a crazy tailgate too. The tailgate was fun in PW.
Oh, that's a cool idea. That would be cool.
Yeah, that was cool. What do you think of the tattooing gimmick as a like her getting tattooed? You got to think people are going to pop on Instagram Live just to see for a few minutes at least, right?
Yeah, I think the intrigue is what I would almost not reveal what it is or where it is until Friday.
Brilliant. Love it.
Of course it is. Yeah, tune in to find out. That's part of the intrigue.
Awesome. I talked to Romeo Roselli recently from the Heartthrobs.
Yes.
Heartthrobs. He's tagged with Nick Matteo. Check this out, Donnie. Giovanni Roselli appears as Batman Beyond now at kids' birthdays. Dude, I'm the biggest fan of this guy. What a humble, talented, beautiful man that he would do this and he does it so good. Look at him. He really looks like Batman.
I mean, the dude is jacked. He looks kind of like Batman really would.
Yeah.
I could see it.
So check out Giovanni Roselli on Facebook and book him for your kid's birthday party.
The Rose, Giovanni Roselli.
Yeah, man. He's the real Batman. I'm just the impression guy. I just fake it.
Bro.
He's the guy. Yeah, bro.
Like
but he's going to come
Batman's
on. He can't make it tonight, but I told him that for him to come on and us to tell some old stories and stuff would be great, Donnie. So he agreed.
He was there back in the day with Jackie and Thomas. That was from some of his first bookings. Jackie had an eye for talent. We'll explain her one day, but she had an eye for talent. Chichi Cruz, Roselli, Kazarian, me, you, Nova, Trent. She really did, dude. She had and remember my favorite my favorite action figure of all time, Sean O'Hare.
Sean O'Hare.
When she booked Sean O'Hare, the late great, awesome Sean O'Hare. And I was talking with him like a whole night, hung out with him, and Johnny Cashmere accused me of cracking open my new action figure and playing with it all night, Sean O'Hare.
You were so excited. Remember Sean O'Hare
he was in the locker room with us. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the locker room, he pulled out a shaver for his face and started shaving his thighs. I was like, that's over. But
he was so awesome.
Would you agree with me that of all time, he's one of the best looks I've ever seen in pro wrestling?
Oh, ever. I honestly thought he was going to be one of the biggest stars coming down the pike. When I first saw him work and his just the look, the intensity, I was like, this guy is impossible for him not to print money. Right. And then life has a funny way of getting in the way.
Ahead of his time, though. I mean, look at his look with the hair and the build. He would fit in today. He'd be
oh my god, man. Dude. It was insane. He was great.
Speaking of the man, do you see they got Shamrock coming back?
To what?
To WWE now with the deal, I guess as legend or something.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm excited.
I have an awesome Kent Shamrock story real quick because you guys love the old stories. We were up doing the TVs. We were extras. It was myself, Rocco Dorsey, Lupus. Danny McDevitt might have been there. I don't know if Inferno was there. I forget who was there. So we're in the locker room with the WWE superstars. I forget who. Everybody was in there. And for some reason, Lupus thought it was a good idea. He had this little rubber ball in his hand. And he was bouncing it on the floor against the wall, just killing time. And I still don't know how this was possible. The rubber ball hit the wrong way on the floor. And who do you think the rubber ball hit sitting across from Kent in the locker room? Goddamn Kent Shamrock, dude. The fucking rubber ball hit Kent Shamrock. And me and Rocco Dorsey just looked at Kent Shamrock looked down. He just picked up the ball. And me and Rocco Dorsey just looked at each other because we were like, if he comes over to kill Lupus, there's nothing we can do. Even if we were armed with weapons, there's nothing we can do to prevent this. And he just said, here you go. And Kent was like, I apologize, sir. And I remember Rocco Dorsey was like, put that fucking ball away. I'm going to stick it up your ass. And then we hightailed it out of there. But that's one of the memories, dude.
I'm thinking him and Heyman will go in the Hall of Fame in Philly. What do you think?
I think it's Heyman, and it has to be Dreamer. It has to be Tommy Dreamer, because if I already told Tommy Dreamer, if he doesn't mention me and Nova in his full Hall of Fame speech, we're done. We've been friends with Tommy for 30 years, legit friends. And I said, bro, if you don't mention me in some way, shape, or form as a master ribber or something in your speech, I'm never talking to you again. So he will. I love Dreamer. I think him and Paulie. I think you put Paulie in there. And then this has never been done as far as I know. You could put ECW in there as a whole, which I think would be pretty cool. And you have Tommy as the representative.
That's a neat idea, Donnie.
Yeah, just put the company itself in the Hall of Fame.
So you would have to say the what's the word when a case the precedence would be the Horsemen, the NWO.
Yeah, you could put ECW in there.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure.
But I would have Dreamer in there. He's earned it. Dreamer's the man. I love Tommy Dreamer. I always will.
He's wrestling the Friday night before Mania at the ECW Arena. They announced it the Friday night. So
yeah, I wish nothing but if I ever hit Super Mega Millions or whatever the hell it is, Tommy Dreamer will be taken care of. I'll put it right here on this radio. But I will definitely take care of Tommy. He deserves it.
Wrestling Calls is here from Australia. What's up, my man?
Yes.
Yeah, let me know the update on the
Donnie B downloads.
Yeah, the downloads and the
rank 2 yet? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know. Put it in the chat and I'll share it. So yeah. So where were we?
Believe we got a promo for
Yeah, we do. We have the promo. This was sent in by the Silk City Kings, Pitman and Bengal, tag team from North Jersey. They train with the backseat, so these guys are a really good tag team. And this is a guy from CBS News local affiliate. So let's watch this real quick.
Stephen Fabian here at the Team Adams training facility, waiting to see if we can get a word. Oh, Silk City Kings, guys, hang on one second. I know you've got your debut match coming up at SPO. Your first time there against the Slimeballz. What's going through your minds right now?
Listen, the Kings are in the building to do what we do best. Put in that work. We here to train, break a sweat, and we gonna get ready for the Slimeballz, right, dog?
Look, let me tell you something. Just listen. Slimeballz, we hope you ready. Because on that day, we definitely gonna be ready. Big SCK.
All day, baby.
Ooh, that match, December 31st, New Year's Eve, Silk City Kings and the Slimeballz.
All
Nice.
right.
And
Pretty
they-
good.
Yeah, and they sent that to us. So
I love
and
that. It
Yeah,
showed initiative. Yeah, it showed initiative, creativity. It was well done. It wasn't in their goddamn mother's basement with a towel in the back of them on a shaky screen. Imagine that. It was short and to the point. It meant something. That was pretty good, man.
it was, and they got a real interviewer guy. But how about let's talk about something. In the beginning, they say they're live at Team Adams. That's Damian Adams' school up there. So at first I'm like, geez, like, whoa. And then I realized he just spoed on SPO. He just used
Wow.
these wrestlers doing a promo to get his product placed inside. So he
Brilliant.
spoed at SPO. At first I'm like, what? And then I'm like, to quote Ray Solinsky, Dan Aykroyd from Tommy Boy, you threw one by me, kid. Savor the flavor, because it sure as shit won't happen again. But other than that, I'm a mark for it. But yeah, so it
That
should
was
be a
great.
pretty good tag match. Them and the Slimeballz. And the Slimeballz actually slimed someone Sunday at CZW, Donnie.
Hold on. What do you mean slime? Like in a bucket of slime?
Yep. We're talking, you can't do that on television. Whole 9 yards.
Oh, that
You know
is
what I told
tremendous,
them?
dude.
You know what I told them? I sent them a link of the locker jokes. Do you remember that?
No, is that from that show?
Yep. It was the Canadian kids were all in different lockers and they'd open it up and go, hey, Margie.
Oh, yeah.
I told them, what if they do that with bathroom stalls?
Oh, it's a good way to get your ass kicked. I mean,
Well, they
depends
do
who's on the
gimmicks
other
and
end of that
they do-
stall, bro.
They do bathroom stall promos, Donnie. They're over.
I gotta see them. But listen, you know, the
Yeah.
fact that we're kind of talking about them being
Right.
something different is what is the key. If not, you're just two goofy guys that are just, you know, at some kind of team. There's a handful of them out there that are pretty decent. We talked. You got the backseats, the rep, Slimeballz, and all these other guys. You gotta keep it going, man. No reason you guys can't have the cream of the crop.
Yep. And they're debuting at NWA. They already did promos and they're going to be wrestling for them coming up soon. So
Oh, good.
look at this one, Rob. Todd Brantley's asking, hey guys, hope all is well. Happy holidays. Johnny, any chance to come back to ESW in the new year? Luckily, my boy, Rob Sanderson, put in a word for the back seats, and we're going to be there January 19th, I believe, which is
Friday, January 19th. Yeah.
which is exciting.
It's
11
also,
months.
I believe, a 3-time PW champion also booked for that show in Too Cold Scorpio, which I will say this, like, whenever my paths have crossed with him over the years, like nothing but amazing experiences. I have never once seen a locker room via Facebook so excited for a name to come into a show as every single one in ESW has been posting about Scorpio coming into that show.
Too Cold's mad,
That's the
dude.
best reputation you can have.
Hell yeah. He was in PW as our champion, and he was working with guys half his size and treating them like they were monsters. He was willing to get in that rope swing jungle gym crazy eight match I made up.
Yeah.
And he went off the top of the cage through a table on concrete. We were like,
Yeah.
dude, like, you do kicks better than anyone else. Just do kicks. He's like, no, I'll jump off the top. We're like, holy shit.
Little
Kinda
bit of
got us.
trivia. A little bit of trivia. when Big 80s Donnie B, before Phoenix Championship Wrestling, and I promoted, my company was called Big Buck Promotions. And my very first show ever in 1995, I want to say, was at Toms River High School East. And my main event was Sid Vicious versus Too Cold Scorpio. Now, Sid no-showed us, and there's a whole story about that, which is hilarious. But actually, at the last minute, we had to sub Doug Gilbert in here. So it wound up being Doug Gilbert versus Too Cold at High School East. Yep.
I never knew that. Did you know me and Todd Gordon booked Sid versus Scorpio for the PW title, and
Really?
they wrestled each other in, I want to say it would have been August or September. We called it Iron and Steel. We had an Iron Man match, a steel cage match, and the main event for the title was Sid and Scorpio. It was awesome. I can't believe you tried to book that.
And what year did you do it? I did it in 95.
It would have been 07.
07, I think.
Oh, I was way ahead of my time. Come on, Menager. Well, that was the morning Sid called me the morning of the show and told me that his sister died. And I found out he didn't have a sister. Yeah, it was a whole story behind it with Casati and Yokozuna and Carluzzo. We'll tell it one night because it's absolutely unbelievably hilarious. But that's for another night. Yes, remind me about that.
So real quick, the cause update are Creator Wrestler. So overall ratings, the Legacy Backseats have a 92, JP Grayson a 90, Tommy an 88, Donnie an 85.
Whoa,
Wow.
I don't know if that's good, but I think it's a little low. Is that good? I don't know. Is
I mean,
85
it's
good?
Pretty good.
It's a
I'll
big
take a B plus. At 51, and wait, this incantation, like current day Donnie B, 85. I'll take that. You shitting me? I'll take that. At 51 and half crippled, I'll take that. Can I say crippled anymore? Is that allowed? I don't know. Is that a bad word? But 51 and messed up, I'll take that.
Is that going to spark some rivalry between the Graysons, not being the exact same number there?
Oh, I'm sure it will. Yeah, they're brothers.
Good.
They've been competing since day one. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Graysons, let me tell you something. They're awesome. They had a killer weekend. I couldn't be prouder. Like, I'm glad they're not here because I wouldn't say this in front of them. They'll probably watch it later, but who cares? Donnie, to see them at the arena and working with Gotch and English the way they did. And
With pros.
Donnie, I don't know how to explain it. It was just special. And I almost cried. Like, Gotch got on the microphone and quoted my words back to me from my Uneffing Believable match, which I almost passed out. Like, what?
So they knew who you were?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm telling you, all these guys know, bro. Whenever you tell me these stories about Mike Santana or these other guys like that are know you and you were shocked by it, I'm like, what the fuck did you think these guys did in the 90s and early 2000s? They watched you guys the same way these guys now, on the indies, are watching the Graysons and this and that. 10, 15 years from now, they're going to say, I saw you guys. You guys were the cream of the crop at the level of independent wrestling that all these kids that broke in the business that are around today, you were the guys they were watching. You and Verdi. You and Trent and some of these other guys. That's why when you act surprised when these guys know who you are and shit. And I told you, when you walked in the locker room, it was like a deity walked in. All these people came up to me like, is that Johnny Kashmere? Bro, you have a lot more reverence than you think. You just don't realize it because you're not a mark for yourself, which is great. That's what I love about you. You're so humble, you don't really realize it. But these guys, they all know you, bro.
Thank you. And speaking of humble, I got a story for you guys. So I'm standing at the table with the Golden Era signing autographs at the convention, right? Guy comes up to me, older man, gentleman, talking to me, asks me how long I'm in the business. We're talking. I'm showing him stuff about the company, blah, blah, blah. I said, I started in 98. He says, wow, you've been wrestling a long time. Asked me all kinds of questions. So, okay, great. Thanks for talking. Shakes my hand. He says, nice to Steve Kern. Great talking to you. Donnie, I almost fell.
Wow.
I talked to Steve Kern for 10 minutes, not knowing who the hell he was because I didn't recognize him without his beard.
Yeah, he looks a little different these days.
Steve Kern. I was shaking his hand. My knees went numb. I almost fell. I mean,
at one time, the man was the head of FCW. He was the head of developmental.
I had an awesome chat with him at the one FCW show I randomly went to, some house show in 2013. Couldn't have been a nicer, more talkative dude, but
yeah, didn't have to.
And who the hell was I just walking in, whatever, literally just to watch the show and something. But I was very impressed. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
I couldn't believe it. Immediately, Donnie, as I'm talking to him, my mind's going through the last 5 minutes going, was I disrespectful? Was I not nice? Did I say anything wrong? And I'm like, okay, good. I'm good. I said, brother, the Gator Breaker. I used to think as a kid, you really would do that if a gator attacked you. I used to be like, dude, a gator attacks me, I know what to do. You know what I mean? Because of the gator breaker.
Can
Donnie,
you bring
remember
that back, please? Yeah.
he used to spit dip on people's chest after he pinned them. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Great gimmick. We're still talking about it. Goddamn 40 years, 35, 40 years later, whatever. Skinner. Think about that. How many gimmicks you really talk about 30 years later?
Well, the reason I idolize him so much is the fabulous ones.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's crazy that's what, oh God, dude. You talk about tag teams, like, I hope someday we could recreate that era just with like the LOD, the fabulous ones, the Midnights, the R&R. Just think of that, dude. If you guys could somehow tap into that and try to recreate something like that, man. No one's been able to do it.
All my friends were the Road Warriors for Halloween or Demolition every year. Undertaker, it was like a religion around here.
They're gimmicks, bro.
Yeah. But man, Steve Kern, the way talking to him and the stuff he was saying, telling me stories about going to high school with Hulk Hogan and Ed Leslie.
Really?
I said, dude, we got it. Yeah. I said, would you by any chance let me exchange numbers with you? He says, yeah. He hands me his phone. I put it in. I write Johnny Cashmere and send it to him. I'm like embarrassed by my own name almost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do I say?
Mark giving me a work name.
Right. But he said he will come on here and talk to us because he just wrote a book and he wants to talk about it.
That's awesome, bro. Definitely.
I know. I can't wait. And he was just at Jack Sabbath's Wrestling Universe store. You know who he was with, Donnie? He was with Eric Sims.
Really? Sorry to hear that. No.
Sims had him and Tony Atlas in.
Really? Tony Atlas? Huh.
Tony worked the show Saturday. So did Crowbar and so did Trax. I got to meet Trax.
Who did Tony Atlas work?
Trax.
Get the fuck out of here. What do you mean? Like in a match one-on-one?
Yeah, open a match. At the arena. Yeah.
There's no way that could have been good. Trax is awesome. Trax deserves like a star in there with him. I'm not knocking Tony Atlas. He's a name, but what the hell did they do?
I didn't watch a lot of it, but yeah, they worked him out. Tony was over too. I got it, dude. He was over.
I'm not saying he's not over. I'm just saying maybe legend versus legend or something. But I wouldn't put. That's just me. But I wouldn't put Trax against. Trax is awesome, dude. Trax is another one of those guys that could like. He looks the part. He could have a breakout 2024. I hope so, because Jerry's just a great guy, great human being, deserves something. Keep an eye. Man. Trax is awesome, bro. I love Trax.
Yeah, and he's in Philly now.
Oh, really?
He's local. Yeah.
Good.
Donnie, the problem is I want to use everyone. I want to do a Frank Goodman 16-match show, and I still don't use
No, you got to resist the urge, bro. You have to resist the urge. Everyone's going to be your friend. Everybody loves you as much as you book them, but you have to keep it tight. That's 6-7 matches, maybe. You can't have 45 people on the show and all that shit. Like, you got to water down your product.
Yeah. Let me ask you another question, Donnie. I think we were talking about this earlier, not to change the subject, but real quick. Who are some of the better current promoters? I like personally, and this is nothing against any promoter, I prefer to work for wrestlers. I love working for wrestlers for some reason. I just do.
Are you talking like mainstream, like not Vince and Tony Khan and stuff, right? Like,
no, like who's still around? Like obviously in the day, you'd say Dennis Carluzzo, Jim Kettner were some of the best. Bill Barons,
the kid Brett Lauderdale, GCW.
Brett Lauderdale, yep.
I think he's the best in the United States. He's the only one that I could think of off the top of my head that has created a sustainable source of revenue for wrestlers on a regular basis to go and provide income for their families. That I don't know jack shit about his operation. I don't know him. I've never talked to him. I don't think. Maybe I have. But
I mean, promoters choose to book their, like Jordan Oliver's on a poster and it says GCW's Jordan Oliver when they advertise.
There you go. I'm just talking from a promotional aspect from what I see. I would put Danny McDevitt up there, Corporal Punishment. Danny's been around forever, like longer than I even was. But I would say him. I don't know who the guy is that runs that Limitless Wrestling up in Maine. They seem to be pretty big and they get their word out pretty good. That Rev Pro, is that Sammy Callahan's thing out in the Midwest?
I think it's Revolver.
That's what I'm thinking of. They seem to be pretty good. What about those? Is it the pro gorillas, pro wrestling gorillas? They still around? They seem to be. That was big for a little bit.
I think they're doing some kind of a hiatus right now.
Okay,
but they've
had.
I
mean, like I said, that's just off the top of my head. I would say Danny. I would say Brett, Danny. whoever runs. Oh, what's the name of the guy who runs? I tell you what, the guy who runs WrestleCade. Is it Tracy Myers? Is that his name? I think it's Tracy Myers, correct? Who runs that every November? They do that giant thing down in North Carolina, the big convention, WrestleCade, I think it's called. Yeah, I think his name is Tracy Myers, if I'm correct. He's a hell of a promoter because that guy runs that deal like a 4-day thing with like thousands of people at it and shit. It looks awesome. So my hat's off to him. And I don't know the rest of them, but that's obviously Gabe and Lou D'Angeli from Impact.
He's running.
Lou, he works for Impact.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I don't want to blow up his deal. I don't know if it's a kayfabe, but Lou, as far as I know, is one of the promoters for Impact.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yep.
didn't know. Channing Decker just worked for Impact. He's going to be wrestling Luke at our show. Actually, Channing did Impact and ROH, and I think they aired the same day, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, like the same time.
Yeah.
The Rick Rude
That's awesome,
spot.
bro. And Raphael,
Morphe.
what's his last name? Yeah, him. He's a hell of a promoter. He's a building guy. He's a promoter too. He's got to worry about promotion, and for AEW, he definitely does a great job finding the buildings and promoting. I think. I don't know him. I've heard a lot of good things.
He's a really good dude. I think he does a really good job of making those connections with people and stuff. And
that's the key as a promoter, man. Yep, is your relationships with the guy who sets up the chairs in the building to local radio and TV. All that stuff's important, man. Because when you pick up the phone, you go, "Hey, is this Rob Sanderson? I got a show coming up next month. I need a couple guys on your local radio or a feature in the paper, whatever it is. Anything that helps get the word out, man. The more you can get the free, the more it is for me." That was always my motto as a promoter.
Ooh, like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
The more you get for free, the more money there is for everybody at the end of the night. You know, and a lot of times people will be willing to help you. You just got to ask. It might involve just literally walking into a business and say, "Hey, can I leave these cards here?" Or, "Hey, do you have any spot on your, hey, this is Big 80s Donnie B. I'm a promoter. We're doing a big event, blah, blah, blah. You have any space on your morning show next weekend? We'd like to give away 3 pairs of tickets if I can come on and talk about the show." They might, 1 out of every 10 might agree, but you ain't going to know until you try.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And, we got some great people handing out stuff for us. I got to say in the chat, Tara said I already handed out half of the SPO flyers. Thank you, Tara, for doing that. And Rat Boy Chris Gorish is walking around Columbus Farmers Market in an elf suit in 20-degree weather, handing out our flyers. God bless you, and thank you so much.
That's so awesome. And like you said, today is 1 week from Christmas. I said this a few weeks ago. If anyone's out there and they're listening to this, tickets make an awesome gift. It's awesome. You bought all the toys and all the other shit, but get a set of tickets to SPO Wrestling, put it in your kid's stocking. They will pull it out on Christmas and go, "What is this?" And they'll say, "Oh my God, this is awesome." And it's just a chance. If it's not the ticket, it's what the ticket symbolizes. It symbolizes that you're making a promise to those members of your family to spend time with them at a dedicated event that they might like the following weekend. So you could look at that and say, "Cool, I'm going to go with my dad or my mom next week. We're going to spend a few hours. This is awesome." That's what the ticket represents to me when I see the physical ticket in my hand. So get those tickets. And if you can't get to the show, like I said, buy a few, donate them. I'm sure over the course of the next week or so, Johnny and them, they'll be giving some tickets out to families in need. Imagine being a family in need and waking up on Christmas and seeing an envelope with some tickets in it that were donated to you. That'd be awesome, dude. So
thanks.
That's yeah, man. That's what I think.
I appreciate that, man. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, honestly, I can't say enough good about backseats this weekend. Donnie, it was a breakthrough weekend. I told him it's, when the girls gave us money, me and Trent, we didn't expect that. I looked at it like Mount St. Helens. There was just enough build-up pressure that it had to explode some way, and they expressed it by giving us dollars. I don't think dollars are going to be the new guy's thing. I think it's going to be something else, and it hasn't happened yet. And I think they're getting that energy and that pressure build up where it's got to blow out the side soon, and something unique is going to come of it. That's how I feel. It just sort of feels that. And the reason I named this episode "History Rhymes" is because of that. They say history doesn't repeat, it rhymes.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
We go back to the arena on Saturday as Backseat Next Generation. We go back to CZW the very next day as Backseat the Next Generation. I mean, that coincidence to me is just signposts on the side of the road saying you're going the right way.
So awesome, dude. Because other than the Midnight Express, I have never seen or heard of a team doing what you did with the back seats, another incantation or another version, other than like the original Midnights and the you know, all that. I've never seen like the new Road Warriors or anything like that. I know they did with draws, but like what you guys did, especially on the indie level, never seen it before, never heard of it. I don't think it's ever been done, which I think is so cool. I'm a huge fan of innovation. I think it's awesome, man, what you guys are doing. I really do.
My boy Jonathan here, who's actually the guy that does my car for me. I grew up with this, my brother, since I was a kid. He even said Columbus is probably the best place to hand out flyers because so many wrestling fans go there. There's so many wrestling action figure tables there and stuff. It's pretty neat down here.
And that's the kind of place that when it gets warm out, maybe in the summer, you do a deal with them to do a couple of live events.
Yep.
There you go, bro.
And I want to get a table there too, because on Thursdays and Sundays, it's like having a storefront for a few hours. Get the word out. Put up a banner, a TV with our clips, and sell tickets, and
there you go.
Showcase. But the way Burlington's coming together and helping is great. Fun for the whole family. Tara said I had to give my dollars on Saturday to JP and Tommy Grayson, so we did get some dollars. It was nice. So
sweet.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, this has been fun, gentlemen, and I hope everybody has a good Christmas season. Before we wrap it up, Johnny, what would you like to give either myself or Rob as if you could give us anything for Christmas, what would it be?
I'm going to give you my heartfelt thank you, first of all, for all that you've given me, including from the Backseat Boys to day one. And you also sent me to Gary Wolf to train, and everything that I am the germ started from you. The sickness I have, the germ I got from you. So thank you for that. And Rob, thanks for everything you've been doing, man. All the graphics that you've been making, the time you put out of your schedule to do things like this, and you're great at it. You know how many people tell me, yo, that guy Rob's really good. I swear to God, I'm not making that up. People say that.
No, you know me. I would tell you to your face or off air, that guy's the shits. But there's been 2 or 3 people I've met since my reintroduction into the business a few years ago, and Rob's right there, man. If I hit the lottery tomorrow and decided for some lapse of better judgment that I was going to get back into as a full-time promoter, my first hire along with Shane as far as my commentary team would be the guy sitting right there, Rob Sanderson. 100%. I have zero reason to lie about it. Yeah, man. I think he's awesome.
Yep. And I have that picture of you when you were 17. I got to find it and show it on here. People are going to laugh to see me and you together when we were like kids.
Oh, I got to see that. Don't show mine from when I was 17.
I just wonder how bad my hair is. Yeah.
There's at least you still have it. Yeah.
Yeah, quite studious. His hair was quite studious. So we kept our viewers. I'm happy we kept our viewers. Thanks for staying, everybody. We're going to get some interviews going this week. Tickets are at spowrestling.com. Check us out on Instagram all week. And don't forget, this Friday, when you see me live on Instagram, it's because Christina Marie will be tattooed live. I told her she's got to do her hair like Princess Leia. And we say, Princess Christina visits Tatooine. And I'll put that
and I guess next week maybe we could do a end of year wrap up kind of thing with the biggest stories of the year or something, and maybe some predictions for 2024. That could be kind of cool. Maybe we'll do that next week.
Yep. Next Monday is Christmas. We got to go on the road to Greektown, so we probably won't do one Monday. But
we can record when you get back or whatever. But let's enjoy the holiday, enjoy Christmas, have fun with your family, guys. I know my kids are soaked for it. We're gonna have a great time, and we'll talk to everybody. Well, I will when we see you again on here.
Ho ho!
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everybody.
Ho ho, effing ho.